How to take control of your life by being proactive. Yeah. What is up, my winning friend? My name is Zach, and welcome back to another video. And today, we're going to talk about how to take control of your life and how to be proactive. And we're getting started right now. So I had just gotten locked up for a DWI, and I knew I was screwed. Like, straight up. I had the worst PO ever, pro officer. She was hateful. I felt like she was a man hater. I just felt like anytime I had any type of interaction with her, like she wanted to leash out at me and just wring my neck. Like, it was bad, dude, and I just knew I was done for. Now, going back though, I was raised, I was conditioned to believe that anything that happened wrong in my life wasn't my fault and to place blame somewhere else. My mother didn't raise me that way, but I grew up that way. I started blaming other things and other people for all of my problems, and it felt good. I didn't have to take any responsibility for it. And that led me to, the position I was in for being locked up. When I sat there, and realized that I was heading back to prison, and I was getting ready to miss my sons being born, my twin boys being born, just 20 days before they were born, I'm heading back to prison. That was a gut check, and then I realized, this isn't my PO's fault because she's a man hater or whatever. It's not her fault that I went out and drank and broke the law and drove while I was drinking. She didn't do that. I did that. I put myself here. This was all my fault. From my decisions and the way that I thought, created my circumstances. No one else did that but me. Alright? And when I got that finally into my head, it was liberating. The weight of the world being off of my chest. Because now I knew that I had complete control of my life. No one else did but me. And it felt good. Alrighty, so let's talk about some ways how to take control of your life and how to be proactive. How do you actually do it? What's the practical ways to implement that? I had to think about that for a minute. And number one, I read this amazing book, by the way, as a Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl. I will link that up in the comments and in the description. I don't think I could throw it in a card, but I will throw it in the comments and the description. Man's Search for Me, A Man's Search for Me. This book was incredible. It was about this guy that was imprisoned in the Nazi death camps and went through ungodly torture and lost all of his loved ones. Everybody, his wife, parents, family, everyone perished either in the death camps from illnesses, being tortured to death, all that good stuff, or getting sent to the gas oven. It's like brutal. It was crazy, right? And he talks about in there, he says that man could be stripped of every single freedom, every single last one except for the last of the human freedoms is what he calls it. And that is the freedom to choose your response to any given circumstance, to any given stimulus. That means you might not be able to control what goes on out there, like, getting brutally tortured or your family getting killed. You might not be able to control all that. You might not be able to control your boss being a dick, alright? But you can control how you choose to respond to that. See, there's a stimulus, and then there's a response. And in between that, in between the stimulus and response, is your freedom to choose that response. That was so powerful and so liberating. I mean, you can't control if it rains on your birthday and you had a pool party set up. But you can control your response to that and improvise and be proactive and find another solution, another activity to do, instead of sitting there and being down in the dumps like, oh man, it rained on my birthday, why me? Why not, be proactive and find a way to still enjoy yourself on your birthday, That was liberating. That was so awesome. Another key pro tip for proactivity and literally controlling your life is to not blame anything else for anything wrong in your life but yourself. Anytime that we say that the problem is out there, that's outside of ourselves, we're saying that the problem or whatever it is out there has control over us. So you're empowering whatever it is. Oh, girlfriend, she's always nagging, or my boss, he's just always down my throat and stuff, and I can't, you're saying that your boss or your girlfriend or your dog or the weather or whatever has control over how you feel and how you live your life. Does that sound right? No. I mean, why would you live your life that? So don't blame anything else for anything wrong in your life. Anything but yourself. Take full responsibility, because if you can't take responsibility of all your failures and everything wrong that's in your life, then you can't take responsibility for anything right and all your successes. And when you can own that, you can own your life. And last tip, what it all comes down to, the number one tip for being proactive and taking control of your life is by doing these two things. Number one, to make a promise and to keep it. And number two, to make a goal and work towards achieving it. That puts you in complete control of your life. When you make a promise to someone, or more importantly to yourself, and you keep it, you begin to build a bigger sense of internal integrity that grows, and it empowers you by keeping these small commitments, even small ones, and it builds up to bigger ones. And by making a goal and working towards achieving it, you're literally designing your life. You are setting a goal, something that you want to achieve in life, and you're working towards it. You're not just going through the motions in life and doing something you hate just to exist. You're not living just to exist. You're actually living to live. You're setting a goal and you're working towards achieving it. That's what life is about. It's about development. The moment that we stop growing and stop striving for more, because that's what the human nature is all about. We're all about more. And everything else in life, all animals, we're striving for more all the time. A tree, it's constantly growing. When it stops growing, it dies. So why do so many men, after years of working that job, as soon as they retire, a few years later, they die? That's not a coincidence. They feel like they have no more purpose. They feel like they're not growing and contributing anymore, so they die. So you always want to grow, always want to push yourself. And by doing these two things, you can take complete control of your life by being proactive. Now, those were some really, my best tips that I could give on being proactive. And I study this quite a bit. And what's really cool is, if you're new to this, if you're new to setting goals, if you're new to just a whole proactive thing in general, or if you just want to look at a new way of doing things, if you're open-minded about that, I have developed a goal-setting process that I give away for free, because that's what winners do. That's what we do here on Win with Zach. And what this process will allow you to do is to literally dominate your life. This same goal-setting process has allowed me, and I'm not saying none of this to brag, because that's not my style or my character or anything. I'm a humble person. I'm saying this to show you how valuable this is and what it can mean to you. Now, the same goal process that I use every single day, and that's one of my big things, is setting goals. I'm very passionate about this. What this will allow you to do, what it allowed me to do, it allowed me to completely rid myself of my drug addiction that I suffered for years against. It allowed me to put my prison criminal past behind me, walk down my parole, been off for years now, and not only come back and live in society, but thrive in society. I'm not just going through the motions. I'm doing what I really love in life, and I want to help other people do the same thing. This process has helped me get on stage at the MGM Grand at Las Vegas in front of thousands of people and speak. This process helped me write my book, and so on. I could keep going on and on. This process is the real deal, and if you want to check it out, if you want to get it for free, I'll link it up in the comments and in the description. It'll say free goal setting process. I'll make sure I put that in the comments in the description below. Make sure you check that out, grab that, snatch that up, and start implementing it right away. And stay consistent with it. Don't just get it and look at it, review it. Get it and implement it. Do it right away and do it to the T, and stick with it over time. You're not going to see overnight results oh my God, it fixed my whole entire life. But if you stick with this over time and follow the process, over a course of 30 days, you can dramatically change your life. And after that, it's just going to keep getting better and better and better. And if you want to crush your goals and reach your potential, Make sure you subscribe and hit that bell notifications. That way you don't miss anything. And as always, my winning friend, thanks for watching. I will see you next time.